We're good.
Hi,
Hello.
everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Decoding Your Superpowers. I'm
Mhm.
Teresa Lysam, and I'm here with my friend and fellow coach.
Linda Karshner.
And we are thrilled to be here, and we are thrilled that you're here as well. So thank you for joining us as we nerd out on talking about strengths and how they show up in our lives and just really digging into them.
Mhm.
So, we really want to share with you Linda's most recent experience of her strengths playing out for her right in front of her eyes physically. So,
Right.
so would you like to share your screen, Linda? And we'll just
Sure.
start off with that.
Yeah, we'll do that. So people, it's kind of scary, you know, seeing part of my brain.
Warning, warning.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
and you explain what we're looking at, Linda.
Okay, so little bit of the backstory. My husband is retiring at the end of this year, 2026. So he wants to be in Florida. We live in Pennsylvania. He wants to be in Florida, be able to look at the ocean for January, February, and March of 2027. That is the definition of a snowbird. In case you haven't heard that expression before, it's people from the northern states in the United States who go to the warmer southern states and
Yes.
migrate there, like snowbirds who want to get out of the northern snow. So we are going to be snowbirds. And then we'll go back home at the end of that time frame. So I was dedicated to finding a place for us to be January, February, March of 2027. And I checked all that I knew how to check. I checked Airbnb.com and Verbo and Facebook groups and friends and relatives trying to find a place that met three of our most difficult criteria um, to be able to see the ocean, that accepts my little dog, and fit our budget, which was the biggest challenge. You know, if you have an unlimited budget, you can get whatever you want, wherever you want.
Hmm.
But being able to fit the budget was important for us because, you know, you're retiring. All of a sudden, you have to be very careful. So, what you see in front of you are, oh, we also checked into possibly purchasing something in this area that we would be snowbirds and then try and rent out the opposite times of the year that normally other people, you know, like we'd try to rent it out summer, fall. And so what you see are the lists, the material that I gathered from the different places we could purchase, the charts that I made. You can see some things that are crossed off because those were like the Atlantic coast and the Gulf Coast towns that we wanted to check out in order to be able to see the ocean. Um, and so, you know, I checked all the things that I knew how to check. And I tried to keep all of my thoughts organized. We I probably looked at 500
I
different
bet.
options.
I bet.
Yeah. So I'm a high relationship builder and a strategic thinker. So relationship building means that you like to connect with the right people. Strategic thinkers like to think, create, and or learn. And I have a little smattering of executing strengths, which is making sure things get done the right way and being
Okay,
productive.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I have a little smattering of that too in my top 10. But all of it's undergirded by my heart's desire, my relationship building, to find something for my husband and myself that, you know, would be meaningful for him. And because he has dedicated his life to helping other people. and he needs some time to restore his soul.
Mm-hmm.
So we had found one place. Well, at one point, I got pretty frustrated, pretty aggravated, and I was like, I just don't know what else to do. And so I was like, okay, God, you've got to help me because I've done everything humanly possible, all the things that all the avenues I know to pursue, I've done. And so God said, Google it, which is what we usually do first anyway, right? And I came across this different website called Furnished Finder that originally had started as a website for traveling nurses. So they have furnished apartments where they expect people to stay for longer term, not just a couple of days or a week or two at a time. It's month by month type of things.
Mhm.
So it was right up our alley. We found what we thought was the perfect one, and it was already taken. So I went back to the drawing board, made another chart, started researching more, and thought that maybe we had found something on the Gulf side, but we were kind of leaning to the Atlantic side because we have friends over there and it's just more convenient for people who are traveling. And lo and behold, Sunday morning, the landlady of the beachy boho apartment that we were looking at, condo, texted me and said that the condo was ours. The other lady had fallen through. She wasn't able to lease it after all. So big sigh of relief, lots of thank you, God. And I kept crying. I said to my husband, I don't know why I'm crying. But it was a culmination of all that work and finding that spot that fit our budget. It's a very reasonable refundable pet fee for the dog, and you can see the ocean from the lanai. It's right across the A1A from the Atlantic Ocean.
Thank
So
you. Thank you, Linda, for
yeah,
sharing that. And you could stop your share
okay,
if you would, please. We want to see, yeah, we want to see you. Thank you.
yeah,
So I'm glad you said a little bit of executing, which is a person who takes action. Lots
yeah,
of strategic
right,
figuring out, researching, reading, checking. So that's all part of one of your strengths, a set of your
mhm,
strengths is that strategic thinking.
right.
I know we talked about you have input, which is the
Mhm,
gathering
mhm,
information, arranger, rearranging all the parts
yeah.
and pieces. And I want to ask you, do you have deliberative or analytical up there in your top 10?
I do not. No,
Oh,
deliberative
interesting.
is in my bottom five,
Hmm.
and analytical and strategic are kind of like low 20s, mid to low 20s.
Okay, so as a strategic thinker,
Yeah.
that makes sense that you were in that gathering, researching,
Mm-hmm.
organizing mode.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just wondering, what's your thoughts if you were more of an activator with adaptability up in your top 10? How would that process have changed?
Um, uh, I would probably have been more likely to either jump at the first thing,
Hmm.
maybe not gotten as frustrated when I kept hitting roadblocks. Like I probably would have been a little more okay, just we'll just go with the flow,
A little more flexible. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So probably wouldn't have frustrated me as much if I had adaptability high. Um, and probably would have waited more to the last minute because as we're
Hmm.
recording this, this is April of 2026,
Right.
but you do need to start thinking about these things
Hmm.
ahead of time,
Well
six
in
to 8 months
advance.
ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
I
if
might
you
have
did,
started in December.
right. So if would, which could possibly have played out to those different strengths that I just mentioned,
Mhm.
activator, adaptability, where you're like, something will come through.
Yeah.
We'll just go with it.
Mhm.
Those types of people are more take the action, figure it out on the fly, and you just like say go with the flow.
Mhm.
Whereas you kind of want to know where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing, what's in, things are in place. It allows you to feel more relaxed and at peace
Mhm.
with
Mhm.
what's coming up. And I know we mentioned that strengths are all about how we do everything.
Right.
So the reason I said we could visually see how your strengths were playing out
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
exactly the reason that we just said, like these particular strengths in your top 10 were visibly there in front of you. This research, the
Yeah.
keeping track and the planning. And that to me it just spoke volumes about a strategic thinker.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I just love that. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that. That was fun to see.
Yeah,
Well,
I
good.
definitely love to have a chart when I'm trying to make a big decision. Like I like to be able to see all of the factors that play into it.
And I want to mention too, as a high relationship builder, because that's
Mhm.
your dominant way,
Mhm.
your first way of doing things is
Mhm. Mhm.
connecting with the right people. And strategic thinking is comes in next.
Mhm.
But when you said you found the right place and you got to go visit and you talked with the
Mhm.
hostess or the
Right.
landlord, I think that's where your relationship building came into play. You
Right.
connected, you felt
Right.
comfortable with her, you
Mhm.
just knew that it was gonna work out well for you. So to me,
Mhm.
that was your relationship building coming to the forefront now. Now
Right.
that all
Right.
the other stuff was
Yeah.
out of the way, your relationship building could step forward and
Yeah.
like seal the deal.
Yeah, definitely.
It may have been different if you just did not click with her and she
Uh-huh.
just, had some kind of edge to her that you were not comfortable
Right.
with.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might have
And
been like, yeah, that's okay.
part of my relationship building piece of it was I connected with a lot of landlords, hosts through they have like a back office that you can
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
contact the host. And so I did that. I wanted to make sure that I could connect and ask some questions and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So people who didn't respond to me, I didn't trust them as much.
Right, exactly. And I'm the same way when I'm looking for a Airbnb or whatever.
Mhm.
I like to make some kind of connection with the
Mhm.
host, just so, like you said, you kind of get a read of who you're dealing with, because relationship building is all about connecting with the right people, whoever
Yeah,
the right people are for us,
right.
and which could be different for somebody else. But
Uh-huh.
um, so that I want to lead that into what we wanted to really kind of bring into this discussion too was how our strengths can also be categorized in other ways,
Mhm.
because some of them are very expectation based.
Mhm.
And like I know I have a lot of them, and we're focused on the top 10. That's what we
Right.
typically do, that we focus on the top 10 zone of genius. So inside that top 10, we count those up again and categorize them into these experienced, or excuse me, expectation based, or these experiential based strengths.
Right.
So how many do you have in the expectation based
I
strengths?
think it's four.
That's little. That's a little amount.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have six.
Yeah, I think I'm the opposite. I have six in the experiential.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So we kind of want to share our definition of that.
Yeah.
So if you're dominantly
Hmm.
expectation based, such as myself,
Hmm.
then you have certain expectations that you come into situations with,
Right.
certain rules, certain values that are important to you. And when you step into the situation, you're kind of scanning to see if everything fits your rules, your expectations, your
Hmm.
values.
Hmm.
And if it doesn't, that can kind of tick you off
Yeah.
or frustrate you.
Yes.
And when I had the awareness that I had all of these, I was kind of mad at myself because
Hmm.
why am I putting my expectations on other people or these situations? But I've since learned that it's actually an awareness. You just have this awareness and
Hmm.
then you can act accordingly. But our life has given us certain experiences and life
Right.
lessons that allow us to determine these rules and these values and these expectations,
Hmm.
which is
Hmm.
fine. Now, the key to it is sharing that information with others.
Yeah.
Like I can, and once I learned this, I'm like, oh my God, I've been doing that my whole life. I
Hmm.
walk into a situation or I
Hmm.
had an expectation of a person in my life that they were going to react a certain way.
Hmm.
And and when they didn't, I would get so irritated.
Yeah.
Why you didn't fulfill my expectation unbeknownst to you, and now
Right.
I'm mad at you. Like
Yeah.
it just when you think about it, it was so ridiculous to expect somebody to live up to my values,
Those
my intent.
unwritten, unspoken.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unspoken, unwritten, and then get mad at them because they're not stepping into those that I think they should be stepping into. It just sounds
Because you're
literally
sure you're right about
ridiculous.
how they should have reacted.
Yeah, well, yeah, but so I learned that I need to voice and communicate
Hmm.
what my values, what my expectations are, or at least at a minimum understand like, oh, they don't even know what's in my head, so I can't be mad at them.
So, how would you go about saying to someone in a situation like that where you're finding yourself with that frustration? And I wish we could think, I don't know if you have a specific example, but like what would you say? Like to communicate that this is what's going on between your ears.
Hmm.
It's not, it's not you, it's me kind of thing.
Right. I think what the big aha was having that realization that it's all going on up here for me.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it's not fair to, like, I'm going to talk about my husband in particular
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
he's closest to me, you know.
Right.
There was just so many times in my past that I would really get upset. Like I came back home and something stupid, like the dishes weren't done,
Hmm.
and I expected them to be done. I
Yeah.
didn't verbalize it.
Right.
But I just had this expectation that they were going to be done when I came back in, like maybe lugging the kids around or something,
Uh-huh.
as a mom. And they weren't done. So then I'd get really aggravated and mad.
Hmm.
But I didn't verbalize like, oh, I would love it if you did up these dishes for me. I'd love to come home to a clean kitchen, something like that.
Right.
So maybe setting it up in advance
Hmm.
so that that person knows what my expectations are in my head and then be more forgiving at the back end
Right.
with the understanding like, oh, they didn't know what my thoughts were because I never did speak them.
Hmm.
So I guess it's just being very truthful and clear in a loving positive way, not
Yeah.
accusatory or anything. But it was just a big, big, big aha when I realized that I
Right.
had been doing
Yeah.
that for so long.
Right.
It made perfect sense. Now, on the flip side, which is more you're more dominantly, what do we call it?
Experiential.
Experiential.
Yeah.
Experiential. So, how do you see those experiential strengths playing out for you?
So I part of where I have frustrated myself is like in my business specifically. Like assuming that I know what's going to happen, having expectations that X, Y, or Z is going to happen without experiencing it first without testing the waters, like putting doing the videos or putting out that digital product. And so I'm in my mind assuming that the expectation is that it's not going to work. It's not going to make me money. It's not going to be received well. So my brain has these expectations based on, you know, false expectations, someone else's experience or something. And what I need to do is experience it, put that product out there, do that video, and then I can have an expectation. But like for me, like I've had these expectations in my mind of how things are not going to work out. So I don't do things. I don't have the
Hmm.
experience. Does that make sense?
Yes, for me.
Yeah.
So it's best for you and your comfort zone because it's all about being comfortable
Hmm.
and being in authentic alignment with your true self, I think.
Right. Right.
So you can step into a situation and kind of with a discovery curiosity type of
Hmm.
an attitude,
Hmm.
like an exploration, like, ooh, let's see what happens. I'm going to put
Right.
this product out and
Yeah.
see how it's accepted, if people like it, if it's helpful, if it's not helpful. So would that kind of explain how you approach things?
It's how I need to approach things. So what I have found is I have acted in a judgy way. Oops. I've prejudged what was going to happen
Yeah, or
in,
pre-assumed. I
yeah,
like your word
yeah,
assumption, pre-assumed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of I have this expectation that it's not going to work.
And so you
Instead of,
feel uncomfortable
yeah,
with that
yeah,
expectation that you're bringing into
yeah,
the situation,
right, yeah, yeah, and feel uncomfortable doing that thing because I've put an expectation on it without having an actual experience.
without having proof
Right.
or data or information,
Yeah.
which
Uh,
would dovetail with your strategic thinking.
yeah, definitely.
Um, so this is just another layer
Mhm.
of where we could go once we understand and look at and see your top 10 strengths and see everything that you have as your lineup of
Right.
strengths.
Right.
It's just I love this because it's just a little bit more awareness and
Mhm.
understanding of ourselves.
Yeah.
Like how
Digging in
much time
deeper.
did I waste getting mad and carrying irritation, at least in my own head,
Mhm.
and being
Mhm.
stressed over that
Right.
without realizing, oh, it's all me. It's all me. I'm doing it all to myself.
Uh-huh.
And then you having frustration and um, stress around not exploring, not trying out
Mhm.
things. You just
Mhm.
walked in with the opposite of what I walk in with.
Yeah. Right.
So, how do you think those experiential strengths served you in this particular situation with your?
Because it was something that I really hadn't done before. Like we haven't done this before. We haven't snowbird. And I haven't really had the need to go on Verbo or Airbnb or anything like that.
Mm,
So just being able to be open to learning and
mhm.
trying those platforms, like how do they operate? And you get some experiences that you learn from.
Along the way. So you're
Yeah.
gathering those experiences along the way in real time.
Right, right.
Whereas I'm a person coming into the situation, in that situation, let's say, with, oh, everything should be this way. I should be able to find this. I should be able to jump on
Mhm.
here and I should, like I'm coming in with a lot of shoulds.
Yeah.
And you're coming in with, oh, well, let's see.
Let's-
That's going to be a
yeah,
learning experience for me.
right, exactly. Yeah. And just like my input is so high, and like I love learning things to share with other people.
Yes.
So I love the experience of learning about it, and now I want to share it with other
I was
people.
just going to say, now you're eager to teach others
Yeah,
what your
right.
process was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if people that are watching and listening can understand that it's just more self-knowledge,
Yeah.
self-information, more
Hmm.
self-awareness that allows us to be more loving of ourselves, more forgiving of ourselves, more forgiving of others, more honoring of what life is bringing to us.
Right. Right.
And we just
And
have,
knowing who we are and how we were created to be, and the awareness helps you to grow.
hmm
Like I never want people to think like, okay, I know my strengths and it excuses my behavior
exactly,
to
right,
be a jerk. Then it's not a
right.
strength.
Yeah, yeah.
It, and it just it's something to help you grow, like to have that awareness of who you are and to continue to fan that flame.
Right. A continual growth
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
awareness. And you can also, and we've talked about this before, being able to communicate with others
Hmm.
at a higher level
Right.
and
So important.
knowing that this is how I show up a lot of
Hmm.
times. I
Yep.
can I can communicate better. I can understand why others aren't responding to me in the way that I thought they should. Like I can be more forgiving of others. So it's for me personally and it's for the people I interact with,
Hmm.
knowing and having this awareness. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. Total. Yeah.
So it's a win-win for everybody. The more we know about ourselves, the better we are as being a human and a friend and a spouse and whatever else.
Right. Totally.
Whatever other role you play in
So
relationships.
as you became more aware of your high expectation strengths, do you feel like that has helped your relationship with your husband, or has it kind of
Yes.
like
Oh,
some of
yes.
those things just weren't an issue anymore?
Yes, that's basically it. Like things became non-issues that were in the
Hmm.
past.
Hmm.
The younger version of me, the version of me that didn't know as much about myself,
Hmm.
a lot of stress, a lot of irritation, a lot of frustration, a lot of
Yeah.
resentment that
Right.
was building up just for myself. It wasn't hurting. Well, maybe it was spilling out in the way we interacted.
Hmm.
But now it's like, okay, I get it. It's not him, it's me. And I
Hmm.
just have to learn how to get past that and to become more like you, more experiential. Like, let's see what happens. It's
Hmm.
not that big of a deal if he doesn't shut that the right way, or if he
Yeah.
doesn't, like, maybe that's an age thing too. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
maybe.
it really just that awareness was just huge for me.
Hmm.
Once I kind of got this understanding,
Yeah, that's
and
neat.
but I think so I've come from that expectation based, and it softens, and I can start to move towards where you're at
Hmm.
and be more in the moment and experiential and curious.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I know
and for
I'm,
me, with my example, not of the snowbirding search, but more like of the business. Like eventually, I will get to, and we chatted about this before we got on. Like eventually, I will be able to say XYZ does not work for me. I have tried it, I've tried it
Mm-hmm.
a couple different ways. I've tweaked it and tried it again. XYZ doesn't work for me, and I'm okay with that. But it that expectation is based on my experience of
Mm-hmm.
actually doing
Mm-hmm.
it. And so then I will become a little more expectation focused in that area instead of
Mm-hmm.
just saying, oh, it's not going to work.
Right. And I think it all balances out
Yeah,
eventually over time.
yeah.
But just to have these awareness of these nuances is huge, I think.
Mhm.
So thank you for bringing this up so that we could
Yeah.
kind of discuss about it. Well, I don't think we've really discussed it like this before.
No, I don't think
Mhm.
so either.
And I love experiential and I love the the idea of expectation. Those are
Uh-huh.
two good labels
And
that
it has
I think
alliteration, so, it's
all the
perfect.
better.
Yeah.
Anything with alliteration is awesome. It sounds more professional or classy.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know either.
And if this went over your head,
Yeah.
those of you that are listening, don't worry about it.
Right.
Again, this is our opportunity to geek out.
We
If you
really
understand,
nerded out about it this
yes, if
time.
you understood a piece of it, I applaud you.
Yeah.
If you're curious about how
Mhm.
you might be showing up in the world, of
Yeah.
course, connect with me or Linda. We'd love to go down the rabbit hole with
Yeah,
you and
absolutely.
see what awareness we can help you discover, what insights might be useful for you on your life's journey. So,
Especially if you have a Clifton Strengths assessment that you took a long time ago and you put it on the shelf or in a folder on your computer and you're like, I'm not sure what the point of that was.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You need a coach with this to help you suss out kind of percolate through some of the stuff that are some of the intricacies. It's
Yes,
powerful and it's detailed and it's rich, but it's hard to know it all, not know it all, but
right.
to get a good feel for it
Well, I
when you
think
need a coach.
it's always helpful to be with another person in terms of like masterminding, figuring out,
Mhm.
having somebody to chat about it with, and because everybody has their own unique perspective and they like we have a bigger knowledge base that we can
Right.
help with. And so, yeah, we would definitely love to help you. We work individually with people. Linda works with clients. I work with clients. We'd love to have you send us your results, your report, as Linda said, and we will talk about it on this platform as we are right now. You can join us, or we just
Yeah.
talk about it, without you being here. But we love to
Yeah.
have people on board with us right in real time so we can get feedback from them.
Yeah. That's
So
always
we
fun.
love it. We're trying to get you to love it too, those of you listening. I hope you're getting a little bit more to where you could see, like, oh, yeah, I understand the power and the empowerment of this information. So thank you for listening in, everybody. Linda, thank you so much. And I'm so delighted that your strengths took you where you want to go, where you
Yeah,
want to be.
literally.
Yeah, literally. It was just beautiful to see that play out for you. I think next week we will probably be taking a break. Linda's
Yep.
still traveling a little bit. So we'll be back in 2 weeks
Yeah.
and we hope you join us. And please leave a comment. Oh, let me grab my little
Oh
thingy.
yeah, don't forget
Leave a
that.
comment, subscribe, share. Share this with others if you feel it was something insightful that they might benefit from. And
Mhm.
we will see you the next time. Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye,
And
everyone.
bye bye.